Hello and welcome to the Kayden Gordon Show, today's best country mix. And joining me right here today is Kevin Sullivan. Kevin, how are you?
Yeah, g'day, Kayden. It's morning here in Australia. I think it's is it afternoon there in Massachusetts?
It is absolutely great here. Thank you so much for asking.
Yeah, what time is it over there at the moment? It's first
It
thing in the
is
morning here.
currently, yeah, it's like 8 o'clock where you are, but then it's like 6:25 here at the moment as we're doing this. So
Okay, great, no worries.
that's awesome. So, how did you get into music?
Look, I've always been a musician. My dad, who's currently 92, he was a
Hmm.
Dixieland jazz musician.
Hmm.
And so I'm one of six children. We just always had music in our life, Caden. And so from a very young age, we were listening to music, we were singing, we were encouraged to sing. And music is such a fun, happy medium. So
Hmm.
it's always been there. So and I've always, as I grew, I taught myself. I initially learnt the piano, but I can't really play chopsticks anymore. But I taught myself the guitar, and music's always been a part of my life. And now I'm a full-time musician and loving it.
That's amazing. So, if you could do a duet or collaboration with any singer, Kevin, who would you choose and why?
Yeah, I have been asked this question quite a lot. I mean, the likes of Johnny Cash come to mind, of course,
Hmm.
but there's a great singer songwriter here in Australia called Paul Kelly.
Hmm.
I think I'd like him, but I think I've got to go with one of the females, Caden, and she's from your part of the world. I
Hmm.
think I'd love to do something with Dolly Parton. I just think she's amazing, and I know Dolly listens to the Kayden Gordon show. So Dolly, if you're out there, Kevin Sullivan Music, I'd like to do something with you.
I mean, I don't know if she's listening, but I guess you never know.
Well, I think she's a big fan of yours, Kayden. Anyway, so she probably is.
Anyways, I guess you never know. Maybe there's something I'm missing.
Yeah, I'd love to do something with Dolly. She's just been such an amazing performer and just such a humble person. She does so much for literacy. She donates
Hmm.
millions of books and stuff. And so if I could do something, a duet, it would be with Dolly Parton.
Definitely. So, do you have any advice to those who might want to start singing but doesn't really know how to start?
I always say to young people, you've just got to have a go, but you've got to be out performing. So, look, it is a bit daunting when you start off, but you really just have to be out there performing, whether it's at your local mall or at your school or the
Hmm.
local club or the local country music association. You
Hmm.
really just have to be out there learning to do what we do. And the more you are on stage, the better you get. And always write music and write it down. That's the other advice I give.
Definitely, because if you write it down, you got to remember it, to songwrite it. So that's definitely
But yeah,
important.
but also a lot of people, young
Hmm.
people who write music, and sometimes we all get embarrassed. We think, oh, is that a bit of a daggy song, or is that a bit bad? But you always should write down your songs. You know, put them in a journal or type them up. Where you wrote them, what time and that sort of stuff. So you always keep that. I've still got records of my songs
Hmm.
from 20, 30 years ago and in little notebooks. So always record them and keep them.
Definitely. So, do you have any new singles or any upcoming projects you want to share with us, Kevin?
Yeah, absolutely. So my first album I released in 2018 was called Belonging, and that's
Hmm.
on Spotify and all the digital platforms, Apple Music, all that sort of stuff. I recorded my second album actually in Nashville, over your part of the
Hmm.
beautiful part of the world. It's called Against the Tide. So I've released five singles from Against the Tide. They're all on Spotify and the
Hmm.
platforms as well. But my family and I, so I have five children, Caden. So I have two
Hmm.
older girls, but I have three younger children. They're a boy, his name's KJ, he's 12, a
Hmm.
girl called Cha Cha, she's 10, and a boy, Jet, he's 6. And we've just toured all the way around Australia. We've done 45,000 kilometres all the way around Australia, and we've
Hmm.
performed over 120 live shows. And we came back and recorded a covers album called the Sullivans, because my name's
Hmm.
Kevin Sullivan,
Yeah.
and we recorded this album. We're sponsored by a caravan company called Sunland, which is a big,
Hmm.
fantastic caravan company here in Australia. So we recorded an album called the Sullivans. It's on Spotify, Apple Music, and the single we released is a song called "The Sounds of Then." This is Australia, but we've done covers of Dolly Parton, Coat of Many Colours. We've
Hmm.
covered the Czech song "Travelling Soldier." We've done a bit of Oasis and some Bob Dylan and Elvis. So our album called The Sullivans is out right now, Kayden. So make sure
Oh, awesome.
you have a look at it.
Definitely. So, what do you like doing outside of music? Do you have any hobbies, interests, anything like that?
Oh, look, outside of music, it's pretty much family. Like I said, we have 5 children. I've got 2 older girls. They're 30 and 29, but they're both working. But our 3 younger children, I mean, they're at school, so we have lots of sport. We're a very big
Hmm.
sporting we're a big sporting country, Australia. So
Hmm.
they play football and they do swimming and dancing. I'm currently writing an autobiography. So in another life, before I was a full time musician,
Hmm.
I was a forensic crime scene police investigator. So I did major crime. So I'm currently writing an autobiography with a best selling author about my transition from forensic police crime scene investigator to Australian country singer songwriter. So that should be out next year or so, and it's been a great process. So my beautiful wife Belinda. So we're just living life, and we're living every day. And we're not
Hmm.
here for a long time, Caden. So we're trying to make every second count. Even today, when I finish this interview, we're jumping in our car in our van. We're sponsored by the van,
Hmm.
and we're heading 7 hours to a festival down the south of Australia, or towards the south near Victoria, for a 3 day festival. So we're pretty busy, Caden. We're pretty busy.
That sounds very busy to me.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
I'm sure it is. So, do you have a message to those who are listening or watching this, or any of your fans, Kevin?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for your great support. Anyone who listens to my music, Kevin Sullivan music, thank you for your support. We can't do it without fans and supporters, and I've got some great supporters. I've got a great supporters over there in the States, and a great friend of mine, Chris Casey. She'd be listening right now. But all I just say is, please continue to support musicians. COVID's been really tough on the music
Hmm.
industry. I have a website, Kevin Sullivan Music. So if you jump on my website, you can see what I've been up to. Sorry, my phone's just going.
That's
Um,
okay.
you can see what I've been up to. Kevin Sullivan Music. I'm pretty active on social media. Again, on Facebook, Kevin Sullivan Music, and on Instagram, Kevin Sullivan. So just a message to my fans is just thanks for being awesome, and thank you for your support. And thank you for people like you too, Kayden. You do an amazing job in getting our music and our story out to the world. So for someone like you, you're a good person, and you do a great thing for country music artists. So thank you too, Kayden.
Again, it's my pleasure, and I mean, of course, always make sure you support us too, because if you don't support us, we don't support the indie artists, and it's one of those things that we got to support each other. I think is
Yeah,
super important
exactly. Yep, exactly.
for sure. So, do you have a goal set for yourself for the next 5 to 10 years, Kevin?
Yeah, we do. We set goals, and my wife is one of those really positive, the glass is half full people. Her name's Belinda, and she's the love of my life. So we do have goals. We write down our goals. So our goals at the moment are to continue getting the music out. We're encouraging our 3 young children. So they're writing music,
Hmm.
they're singing music. So our goals are to get them to keep getting them some formalized training with their singing and their music and their stage presence. Our goal is also to release my autobiography. Um, I have a goal. I would love to sing at the Grand Ole Opry.
Hmm.
I've been to the Grand Ole Opry. I've been to Nashville a couple of times. I recorded my second album. I'd love to tour internationally. So I have some big goals. I write those goals down, Kayden, and I'm hoping and praying that those goals will come true. So, and who knows? One of my goals, as you mentioned earlier, is to do something with Dolly Parton. So,
Hmm.
and I think you need to dream big, and we tell our children that you can do anything, and whatever you want to do, you can do it. Just go out there and have a go, and that's what we're doing. We're just chasing our dream. It's never too late to chase your dream, Kayden. So that's what we're doing. And the
Hmm.
road is hard. The road's hard, but we're having a go.
Fantastic. Well, is there anything I forgot to mention that you would like to mention, Kevin?
Just for people to continue to support Kevin Sullivan Music. Again, it's on Facebook. I'm on Instagram. My website. We have some merchandise. We have our new album out. The best place to buy our album is obviously from us
Hmm.
on our website. The other thing I want to mention before we go is, as we travel around Australia and around the world, I'm also an ambassador for a charity here in Australia called the Children's Tumour Foundation. So
Hmm.
people with a condition called neurofibromatosis, and on the back of our van and on the back of our car.
Hmm.
So we try to raise awareness and try to raise some funds for the Children's Tumour Foundation, and it's on Facebook, CTF Australia. So yeah, please support that too.
Wonderful. Well, Kevin, thank you so much for taking the time to come on the Kayden Gordon Show, today's best country mix. We sure do appreciate your time so much.
Thanks, Kayden. Make sure you keep playing my music too, buddy. Thanks so much.